How do you get people interested in great? How do you sell the value of great? And we'll come back to the organization stuff because I definitely want to talk about that. But how do you sell it? I mean, anybody on the panel.
Well, I mean, one way you sell it is your app is right next to an unbelievably polished consumer app, right? And so the difference is very, very obvious, right? And so it's our goal. I got some colleagues here. We're going to bring sexy back to enterprise, right? We lost that mantle in 1984 with the famous Hal Riney Apple ad, and we're going to bring it back, right? I think that was the turning point, right?
Yeah, I think people are demanding it now.
Yeah.
Is the other thing. They're revolting against organizations that do not deliver great experiences.
Yeah.
And if you deliver software they don't want to use, they're going to go use something else. So companies are now realizing that the products they deploy internally are very, very important.
So Steve, how do you make it systematic?
Organizational management's the most important thing that I think that any of us can do. Anybody in this room, anybody sitting up here, et cetera. I think that in a lot of cases what will happen is that you'll hear people say things like, we want to think outside the box, we want to be creative. But then what happens is they want to take the identical organization that they used to have that wasn't thinking outside the box and somehow force feed that or go hire consultants. What I try to do is I try to think of myself as my job is to build an organization that can build creative products, which means every now and then I'll flip the org chart. We'll take a look at who reports to who, if that department still needs to exist, if we can just align it into one. Should we collapse into horizontals or verticals? And that level of change that makes people understand that they're responsible, they can globally optimize, not locally optimize, because they know that they're not going to be in one silo for too long. I think that that's probably one of the most important things that I think that we should all kind of consider. What's our org chart look like? Because in a lot of cases, people's products look like the org chart. You can tell who owns what on the page.
Yes. Yeah, Excel is a classic example of that, isn't it? Yeah.
You can tell their org chart.
Yeah, Charles, you were going to...
I completely agree with that. And back to the question of engineering, I think waterfall is coming back a little bit. Like, just give the design team some time to get things kind of sorted out, and then it's not a kick it over the wall thing because the engineers need to kind of be along for that ride, but putting some stuff in the oven, doing a bunch of kind of lean, quick feedback loops, and trying to close that gap between our assumptions about our user or the task we want them to do and what reality is can just make the product shine, right? And I think everyone should try the new LinkedIn Contacts app if you haven't. It's a great example of that. It's a really, really polished experience.